Hello and welcome to Foster Parrots, which is currently under construction. In this first phase of the work, a large piece of our original building was demolished. Because of this, we're a little tight on space for now. This presents some challenges for the staff and volunteers, but the birds are happy and it will all be worth it when we move into our new state-of-the-art facility. Walking into the building, our first two rooms are our intake and placement center and the medical room. Our placement center houses birds who are human bonded and will be placed in well-vetted adoptive homes. A volunteer recently painted murals on the walls to help this space feel bright and cozy while these birds are in transition. Amazons Amaria and Geraint came from separate homes and met in the placement center. They're now inseparably bonded, and Amaria is not interested in human attention, so they'll likely become permanent sanctuary residents. We consider it a great success when birds in our care find each other and get to experience a natural bond, similar to what they could have in the wild. Across the hall in our medical center, Sid the American crow is being treated for a lesion on his wing. We have several birds in this room being housed in temporary cages while they undergo treatments. The medical center in our new facility will be designed as a full-service, on-site avian veterinary clinic to better support these medical cases. We treat every resident with dignity and care, including the smallest finches and parakeets. Because Foster Parrots prioritizes the rescue of elderly parrots, parrots coming from situations of extreme poor care or abuse, and parrots in need of life-saving medical intervention, medical activity at the sanctuary is constant. Down the hall, you'll see our open-concept macaw area, where most of the birds live on hanging play frames in pairs or small groups. They benefit from the social support of the birds around them, as well as the staff and volunteers, in a location that sees lots of foot traffic. Many of these birds live in limbo, showcasing their wild instincts and pairing up with other birds, while still craving human connection. They might be unsuitable for a home setting due to aggression or excessive vocalization, but they don't fully fit into an avian flock either. This is a common conundrum for captive parrots. We recognize the need for more flex spaces where birds and humans can exist together, and our new sanctuary will reflect that. On the other side of the hall, we have several built-in aviaries for pairs and flocks. Some of these birds have been Foster Parrots residents for decades. Birdie Bell and Azul are a pair of Indian ringneck parakeets whose medical issues make it difficult to live in an aviary setting. Although they live in a cage, their door remains open so they can choose when to be inside it. They spend most of their time on top of the cage, interacting with passersby. Our conure aviary houses several species of conures, most of whom were pet store purchases and were then passed through several homes before making their way to us. Cosmo was surrendered at age 4, having already been through 3 different homes. We were his 4th home in 4 years. Although Cosmo likes attention from people, he can be unpredictable. After everything he's been through, we opted to integrate him as a sanctuary resident so that he can finally settle in and experience stability. He'll live with us for the rest of his life. The first phase of our construction project involved demolishing our former education hall and small bird aviary. All those residents needed to be relocated into an area of our building that once served as our workshop. We're now operating with a very small workshop area, but still adequate for making toys and other basic needs. During the move, every single one of our small birds received a medical checkup. Catching the small birds can be stressful for them, so this was a great opportunity to check them without causing additional discomfort. We have many blind and disabled birds in this aviary, so our staff built their new room to match the old room as closely as possible, down to the locations of the food trays and perches. The move went very smoothly, and the birds are thriving. The residents who lived in our education hall rely heavily on human attention, so we created a new space with plenty of visibility to watch volunteers as they work, and comfy seating for us to visit and socialize. One of the greatest successes of this transition was the bond that formed between Watusi and Louie. These two birds have lived across the room from each other for years, but they have easier access to reach each other in the new space. They've come together and formed a beautiful friendship, which we consider a huge success. Louie experienced abuse and neglect in his past life. He's feeling so much more comfortable and outgoing now with Watusi by his side. Just outside the building is the first completed area of our new sanctuary, the Yardbird House. This outbuilding houses rescued ducks, chickens, and peacocks on one side and corvids on the other. It's predator-proofed and as safe as possible from threats like the ongoing avian flu epidemic. These birds are extremely happy with their brand new digs, especially the working pond. Although we're going through lots of big changes and operating in a cramped sanctuary for now, there is so much joy and hope amongst the people and birds at Foster Parrots. We look forward to showing you a tour of our brand new sanctuary in just a matter of months.